Welcome to the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. This is your go-to resource for personal growth, mastering communication, and influencing and persuasion techniques that will help you unleash the full potential of yourself and others. Here is your host, Alex Morgan.
Welcome to another episode of the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. My name is Alex Morgan, and I'm a master trainer of hypnosis and NLP. And on this episode, I'm going to go into some ways that people who are very, very successful set themselves up for success. Now, I'm not going to be talking about things that you may already know, like a boring routine, or you got to be consistent and things like this. No, we're going to go into some advanced ways of thinking, and then I'm going to tell you something about the way that they set goals and something they attach to their goal that allows them to achieve more and more. So the first thing that successful people really think about, and they actually think about this, they're conscious of it. This is why they're always creating what you want, and I'm going to give you a few different examples. So successful people, they understand that they're getting, that they're creating, and their reality, what they're focusing on 100% of the time. Now, this is difficult for some people to understand, because a lot of people, they don't want to take responsibility. However, a lot of people that run a business, they're always wondering why their team members, their employees are doing certain things. However, do they actually think, what is it about me that's creating this? Now, this is super powerful because let me give you a few different examples. What if you have a team member and they're continuously showing up late over and over, and you're thinking, okay, well, I could just speak to them. I could just tell them, hey, you need to be on time. However, what's really going to change? Because some people, they're just going to show up late regardless. So this person who runs this business, what should they do instead? They should think about, if I was working with them, I would ask them, where are you showing up in your life late? Where are you not on time? Where are you not sticking to your commitments? So maybe this person, for example, they're not, showing up for their family in some way on time for dinner in the evening. They're always late because they're busy working or spending that time for themselves. So they're missing valuable time for their family. So if I told this person, you need to show up then every time to dinner on time and be there for your family. Chances are, if they did this for a couple weeks and they installed this habit and this became automatic for them, the person that they were worried about being late, that was frustrating them, they're going to notice that this person is going to start showing up on time. This is because our outer reality is a mirror of our inner reality, and we get what we focus on 100% of the time. So if this person shows up on time and is there for their family, their team members at work are going to be there for them. They're going to hold to their commitments, just like the boss is holding to their commitments, or the business owner, the entrepreneur, whoever. So if you want people in your life to hold to their commitments, to be on time, you need to do that yourself. And you don't need to just talk about it. You need to focus on it, and you need to take action and do it. Now, another way that this comes up easily in business that I think is fascinating is a lot of people in business, my clients, they're paying late. They're just not paying on time. They're not paying up front. They're second guessing themselves when they go to make the payment. A light bulb always goes off in my mind. Usually when I'm investing in a program, or I'm investing in some sort of coaching or investment in myself, training, whatever it is, I don't usually get on calls with people unless I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be buying the service. I usually don't go on the call to be like, oh, let's just see what it is and see if they can convince me and show me the value and see if I actually need it. I've already, seen them online or whatever with their content, and I'm usually ready to buy. I just need a few details about, how much of my time am I going to have to put in and what's the investment. A lot of times I already know the investment. So a lot of the times when I do that, I'm buying right away. I'm buying all up front, depending on what the amount is. Now, if clients aren't paying you up front or they're late on all their payments, think about it. When you're buying products or services, are you paying up front? Are you being a good buyer? Are you a self-closer? Are you easy to sell to? Are you taking out your credit card? Because when I have people sign up for my trainings, I've had them on the call to sign up. I'm trying to figure out why they want to do the training just so I can, tailor the training to their specific needs, so I can make sure to bring up certain suggestions during the training for their specific purpose of being there. And they're already pulling out their credit card asking for me to pay on the Zoom call. So I can send them the invoice on the Zoom call so they can pay. This is because when I buy something, I'm honest with the person who's selling to me, and I tell them exactly when I plan to pay, and then that's what I end up doing. So we get what we focus on 100% of the time. So these are a couple of examples, easy examples. However, this can be for anything. So you need to be very careful about anything that's going on in your life and think, am I doing this? Am I using lots of integrity when I think about this situation? Am I being humble? When I'm expecting someone else to do something, am I showing up every day doing this myself? Am I thinking like this? Am I taking these actions? So when you see something and it frustrates you, or you have certain negative emotions, chances are you can think of this as a projection. So chances are you're projecting this out. So if you have negative emotions or it's getting you frustrated, that means that you probably have something to work on. And that's good, because then you can make changes. And then when you make changes on the inside, your whole outer world changes because you get what you focus on 100% of the time. So if your life is not going exactly the way you expect, and this could be in any area of your life, in your business, with your family, with your relationships, with colleagues, spirituality, personal growth, health and fitness, whatever it is. Notice in each of those sectors, if something is not going the way that you expect, you get what you focus on 100% of the time. So as long as you are willing to change something on the inside of yourself, then you need to do that so your outer world changes. So then that 100% of the time can be things that you want. So that's the first one. You get what you focus on 100% of the time. Now the second one, this one is a bit different, and I've gone into this on different episodes. However, I want to go a bit further. So the main way that not so successful people think is they think a lot of things are hard. That when they work, it's hard. I'm sure you've seen videos like choose your hard. You can either work a 9 to 5 or you can have your own business. Choose your hard. However, we don't need to actually choose our hard. People who are not successful, they follow these videos, they follow these creators and think no matter what they're going to do, it's going to be hard. However, we can make things easy for us if we put the effort in our mind. So a not so successful person, they're going to work hard, and then they're probably going to finish working, and then they're going to distract themselves. They're not going to put any effort in their mind. They're not going to think about really a better reality. They're not going to design a better reality. They're probably going to go home, or if they work from home, they're going to be there anyway. They may complain to someone, and then they're going to distract themselves with other things that they do. Scroll on social media, talking to other people who are not helping them get anywhere, who are just allowing them to vent all the time. And then everything is going to seem hard. They're going to wake up the next day, and this is all going to seem hard again. A successful person, this is going to be much different. Yes, a successful person is going to work. However, they're not going to be choosing their hard. They're not going to think that either of these is going to be hard. They're going to work because they enjoy it, most likely. Most people who are successful, they also are happy with what they're doing and who they're helping because they're thinking of the bigger picture of their purpose and why they're doing it. And this motivates them to keep doing it. And also, after they're done with their work for the day, they're not going to distract themselves. This is where they use the concept of no time. This allows them to also get into a flow while they're working, a state of flow where they can stack autonomy on top of motivation, on top of passion, on top of all these positive triggers that allow them to work easily and effortlessly. So when they're working, they're staying on task and they're in such a state of flow that time seems to just pass by and they get so much done. So after work, these people go into no time where they're able to also access this state of flow. And this time of no time, this is time that they use to mentally design what they want. They mentally think about what they want. They focus on what they want. They design their ideal future with the people they want to be around, with the products they want to innovate, with the services that they want to sell. They think about the attributes that they want in their relationships, in their team members, and their business partners. They think about the things that they want and they design these. They get down to every little last detail and they use this no time, not to distract themselves, to scroll social media or do any of this. They use this as time to focus on what they want. And it doesn't even have to be that much time. However, like I said earlier, if you do the inner work, which is easier than you think, then you'll get what you want in your life because you get what you focus on 100% of the time. So these two things go together. The not so successful person, they get off work, they distract themselves, their day, the next day is the exact same. The successful person, they work, they innovate, they create, they get in that state of flow, they have passion, they have motivation, they have all these wonderful feelings. And then they do design work in their mind during no time. And so that the next day, they're getting what they designed. And they do that over and over again, and they can achieve more and more. And they have a different reality every day instead of the same thing over and over. That's why people look at things as hard. That's why people think they need to hustle and grind, because it's the same thing over and over. Or a successful person, they're designing so much of their optimal reality that their optimal reality is changing and flowing because they have new things to create and achieve because they use this no time to design. So if you want to do some really good design work on your mind, reach out to me. All my information will be in the description of the episode because it's fun to create your ideal future. And you can do this along with your work. There's always enough time to put effort in your mind. Because people who don't put effort in their mind, they're just finding that time to do something else that doesn't actually get them anywhere. So if you start designing, you can use this time to achieve more and more. So then when you actually do the work, it's going to feel easier because you'll know exactly what to do because you've already designed this in your mind. So these things go together. When you design, you also get what you focus on 100% of the time. So when you use that no time. And if you distract yourself, guess what? You're going to get what you focus on 100% of the time. You're going to go to work the next day and do the same thing over and over without creating change. Where the successful person, they're looking to always create and design and achieve more and more. So there's one other thing that successful people do, and not so successful people, they're not really even considering this. So that's the thing with limitations. It's not so much that limitations are based on what you can or cannot do. What's limiting most people is the things that they've never considered. So just what if you were to consider this, what I'm about to say? What if when you set goals, that you have a really good specific goal. I'm not going to completely go into goal setting here. However, what if when you set goals, if you were to know this and you put a reward to it? So every time that you achieved a goal, depending on how small, medium, or big the goal is, you reward yourself. And the reason that you want to do this is the unconscious mind, it loves repetition, and it also seeks more and more. So if every time you achieve a goal, you want to attach this good feeling to it, and this good feeling can continue with a reward. So let's say every time you get a new client, you can buy yourself a new pair of shoes. Or if it's a big client, maybe you buy yourself a car. Or if you have a goal to buy a house, maybe you reward yourself with something for the house. Or you go out to dinner, you do something for your family. So you need to decide what your rewards are. And the easy way to do this is have a picture in mind of your goal. So what you're going to see, what you're going to hear, and what you're going to feel when you have your goal. And make sure to really put in that good feeling, because that easily creates momentum and propels you towards that goal. And then next to that picture, have a reward. What's the reward that you want? And the other thing that this does, and the reason successful people do it and why they keep achieving more rewards, is most people, when they're going after their goals, they have a lot of away from. What does that mean? Now, if someone has a goal to make money, a lot of people, they're going to be moving away from poverty. So there's going to come to a point in their goal where instead of focusing on making money, they're going to be facing towards that poverty, and they're going to get enough money, not all the way towards their goal, and then that poverty is going to pull them back in. And they're going to find a way to lose some money, and then they're going to have to make more again. Now, if you have goals and you have rewards attached to that goal, that means you're going to be facing towards your goal in your mind. Your motivation is going to be towards your goal. So these rewards, they also create motivation towards what you want and not away from what you want. A lot of people are away from what they want. That's why they keep going over the journey many, many times instead of leveling up and achieving more and more. And that's the whole point of doing the design work in your mind as well. Because if you can design things in your mind, then you'll be going towards what you want. So the whole idea is to understand that you get what you focus on 100% of the time. And if you can design your ideal future and you're rewarding yourself with that future, then you're constantly going to be thinking towards what you want and moving towards what you want. That doesn't mean nothing ever, goes wrong. But if something does go wrong, you're not going to be thinking about it. You're going to easily expand past it. You're not going to look at it as a challenge or something like this. You're going to be continually seeking more and more, which your mind wants to do anyway. So why not have it seek more of the good, more rewards, more goals? So you get what you focus on 100% of the time. And this allows you to easily get whatever rewards that you want when you achieve those goals. So if you can think in these two ways and reward yourself, I'm sure that you can have a much better reality on the inside and the outside, and this will help you automatically and naturally get what you want so you can achieve more than you ever dreamed of. So thanks so much for listening. Go ahead and rate the podcast wherever you are listening. Let me know what you'd like for me to talk about on any future episodes. I really appreciate it when I do get feedback from people. It helps me keep going and create stuff that people want to listen to. So thanks again so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next episode.